pretty well.
What do we have going on today? What is this?
Well, first of all, before we get started, we're drinking coffee this morning. In the shop, we have our proprietary blend of coffee bean used in our lattes, cappuccinos, and Americanos. Roasted by Coastal Coffee Roasters. This is called the Spokeworks Gear Grinder Blend, available in 12 and 8 ounce bags. But this morning, first of all, Mike, our head service tech. My name is Michael. I'm the owner of Spokeworks.
Good morning.
We are talking about the Diverge STR. So let's get into it. First of all, the Diverge STR is considered a gravel bike. It is able to be dampened with a tunable suspension. 20 millimeters of travel up front, which is the Future Shock 2.0, that it does come on the Diverge and some of the Roubaix as well. But the big part of the bike that everybody is probably wondering about and most interested in is the rear Future Shock. 30 millimeters of travel. Basically what they're trying to do is solve the problem of making the rider as comfortable as possible over any bumpy terrain while still allowing the rider to accelerate and have handling like a rigid frame.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Out of the seat, sprinting, no compromise whatsoever. While you're in the saddle, smooth like a harmonic balancer on a car.
Exactly, and as efficient as possible while still, again, suspending the rider. Right?
Correct.
STR is suspending the rider. Let's talk a little bit about, I'll kind of introduce a few little parts here, and then Mike, I want you to get into just a little more deep dive of the rear Future Shock.
Sure.
But the rear Future Shock is made of 3 distinct parts. The dampener, which does have on-the-fly adjustability. You can basically have that as an open, mid, or completely rigid setup. The frame post, which is here all the way down into the frame. And both of those parts are then connected by the tendon. So I'll let you kind of talk a little deeper dive into how those 3 parts work together.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. So the really interesting thing about this bike, as complex as it looks, is actually how simple it is to set up and how tunable this system truly is. Michael touched on the tendon and then the dampener inside the top tube of the shock, the shock inside the top tube of the frame, and 3 position setting for your riding. The unique piece is every Diverge STR comes with 2 frame posts. The frame post, as Michael stated, starts from the top and goes all the way down to about here. There's a cinch bolt on the back of the seat tube that actually locks the frame post in. This frame post actually pivots within the seat tube of the frame, which gives you your compliance. The nice thing is each Diverge comes with 2 of these frame posts. Each frame post has 2 different settings. So out of the box, you have 4-way tunability on these posts. Additionally, Specialized offers 7 different models of these frame posts. So if the 2 that come with your bike do not fit your weight and your style, they're available and they are extremely simple to swap out. Additionally, they're fantastic bikes. Mike, what else do you have to say about them?
It's just a phenomenal technology that we really haven't seen. I mean, the Diverge STR has been out for a little bit now. We're lucky that we get to see the Pro build kit with one of our customers who recently purchased it and let us kind of display it here. But yeah, I mean, it feels like Specialized is kind of hitting a home run with trying to make this as comfortable yet efficient as possible. And we were talking earlier, I mean, yes, it's considered a gravel bike. You get a second set of wheels with a slightly narrower, less knobby tire. You're really comfortable on the road. We were talking about riding like the Blue Ridge Parkway. The pavement,
be amazing
climb,
on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah, hit some trails. In all honesty, I know you're really rocking the drop bar cross country bike. It's kind of what it's touching on. It's touching on a combo of gravel, a little bit of road, and then cross country riding. So it's just a really neat concept that I think, in all honesty, in the next number of years is really going to take off.
Exactly. So, Michael, you brought up a great point about the Blue Ridge Parkway up in Virginia, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I could easily see spending an entire day or 2 days on the Blue Ridge on this. And then me personally, my style of riding, I would easily take this bike at like some mild single track off-road, like maybe Merrington Plantation. But what do you think about who's our target rider for this kind of bike?
I mean, it's definitely geared towards your traditional gravel rider, but then also just expands on the type of terrain that they're going to see. So, in other words, mostly around the Charleston area, we see a lot of kind of hard packed, not a lot of elevation change, right? Terrain. But you go into the mountains, you have some climbing, you're descending on some single track that is more geared towards a full suspension bike. This bike is going to handle it. When you do some climbing, mess with your dampening, it's on the fly. So it just kind of opens up a number of avenues that you are maybe a little bit pigeonholed into a more traditional gravel bike that does not have any type of rear suspension.
Yeah, I mean, a bike like this, I could easily see going down and doing like a Sullivan's Island to Isle of Palm road ride.
Absolutely.
In the afternoon. Last time I was at Harbison, I was seeing more people on gravel rides up at Harbison. So I could be on Sullivan's Island in the morning and then riding Harbison in the afternoon with one bike.
Yeah, I think that this idea is really starting. We had mentioned earlier. Starting to blur the lines between gravel and cross country with a drop bar, which is just a really cool idea.
Yep, with all-day comfort.
That's the Diverge STR. This is Mike, our lead service tech at Spokeworks, and I'm Michael.